Well, this could be a game changer, but not in a good way. Let's begin. Well, bloody Labour are always up to their sneaky political shenanigans, so they've hatched a plan this time to give the vote to EU nationals for general elections. And no doubt, of course, they'll try to dress it up nicely as if you've been living here for most of your life, you should get the vote, which, yeah, okay, sounds reasonable, doesn't it? But what they're conveniently, of course, probably forgetting to mention is the potential bonus for the illegal boat people and temporary student visa holders. It's kind of like being offered a golden ticket to anyone who can find Narnia through the back door. I mean, can you just imagine it? Rows of illegal boat people lining up in Poland station, exchanging confused looks and asking, do we get a free boat ride with this vote? Or the international students trying to figure out if their 6-month visa is long enough to cast a ballot. Of course, let's not forget the grand plan to win over the youth by letting 16 and 7-year-olds votes join the election party. Because, you know, what's more exciting than a bunch of teenagers deciding the fate of a country? It's kind of like handing over the keys to a kingdom to a bunch of kids who can't even decide what they want to wear on a daily basis. Or indeed, nowadays, what gender they are or are not. What does seem quite strange to me, though, is that Labour seems perfectly happy for 16-year-olds to have the vote, but like for a lot of other stuff, like getting married, having cigarettes, maybe even tattoos, Labour presumably thinks they're not grown up enough. Just seems a little bit hypocritical if you ask me. It's kind of like saying you're responsible enough to vote, but you're not responsible to handle a toaster without adult supervision. The strange thing is, though, other EU states don't give each other's nationals the right to vote anyway. Hopefully, though, their idea will end up hurting their chances rather than helping them, as people aren't stupid and they'll be very annoyed if they think they're being tricked. But anyway, the article says that an urgent warning has been sounded over Labour's brazen plans to hand the vote over to EU nationals for general elections to decide who governs the UK, despite no other EU country allowing the same rule. So Keir Starmer himself said in 2020 that all EU nationals should be given full voting rights in elections, and although no official announcement has been made, proposals are understood to still be being looked at by the party. And in May, Labour's Shadow Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds told the BBC that there was an argument for having them, apparently EU nationals he was talking about, involved in the process. The party is also understood to be considering opening the vote to 16 and 17-year-olds in a bid to increase its share of the electorate. But according to the Office for National Statistics, there are an estimated 1.4 million teenagers that would be allowed the vote under the plans, plus around 3.4 million EU nationals with settled status. And EU nationals legally in the UK can vote in local and devolved elections, but at present no other EU state allows people without citizenship to vote in their national elections. And writing in a Telegraph, Daniel Harman sounded a warning over any such move in the UK. He said Sir Keir Starmer will seek to create more Labour votes by extending the franchise, writing the outrageousness of these proposals mean that they would need to happen right at the start of Starmer's mandate, when he enjoyed a measure of goodwill. Labour has demanded the raising of the age of consent from 16 to 18 for almost everything: applying for a mortgage, getting a tattoo, using a sunbed, buying cigarettes, yet without a blush it now wants 16-year-olds to vote. Mr Hannan added that what makes the plans even more brazen is that EU states do not give each other's nationals the right. He continued, more to the point, we are not an EU state. Why give the vote to Bulgarians but not Bolivians or Bruneians? Purely one assumes because Labour believes they would reward its Europhilia. Well, to me though, this kind of comes across as them being desperate, especially when in this video they kind of admitted that certain things are over anyway.